Autobots, transform!
What up, everybody? Welcome to George Reviews. I am an 80s Transformer fan, and I am still reviewing Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron trilogy figures. Today, it will be Autobot Trailbreaker. This is his packaging, same style Earthrise packaging that we've seen. I'm going to spin it around real quick. Nice little artwork, it always is. No, there's a couple little crappy artworks, but nice artwork. He is a deluxe class figure. It tells us right there. The product image on the back of the box is pretty boring. They could have took all this crap and gave us some updated bios. Side of the box is some more pretty cool artwork. So I am going to go ahead and cut the tape on this figure. Where is the tape? And get my Trailbreaker open and check them out. Here's Trailbreaker out of the packaging. He's in half a clam. Is it a clam? Half a clam? It doesn't have the other half. Here's the little background he comes with. It usually gives us a little message. And you got to pull out the little half a decoder. At least it's half of the 80s decoder. And then you got to find the message that's normally hidden in the red. And so I see some directional. No message. Directional. No message. I just see some symbols. I don't know what that's about. I said it before. I don't know if you got to go online. Somebody got to help me in the comments. Do you got to go online to figure out the little symbolism and all that and what that means? It's obviously a directional pattern. Some type of planet in flames right here. I don't know. And you know what? I don't know. I ain't too big on it anyway. You know. But moving on to Trailbreaker. Here's Trailbreaker. He's packaged what looks like one or two accessories. Well, one of them stuck to him. At least one accessory. He is a mold mate palette swap of Hoist, previously released Hoist. Oh, and I guess his parts forming right there is his accessory. Let's slide this guy out. Man, this is probably the most cartoon accurate Trailbreaker to date. Alright, let's have a look at Trailbreaker. And at first glance, I thought he was all black. But the main truck portion here is black, I guess, and the roof is black. I think that's paint over this translucent bluer type window. But as you can see, his arms are brown, his hands are brown, his feet are brown, and even the tires are brown, which actually sucks because they use black. Why the tires? I mean, how many times have you seen brown tires, you know, on a vehicle? I can see. And don't nobody give me no crap and say maybe it's mud. I mean, they just brown tire. I don't like that. This is the back of the vehicle. They've managed to close up the hollowing of the reverse side of the truck pretty good. There's a little bit of hollowing down here, and I'm pretty sure that's for transformation. If they were to put a panel here to open and close, he would be a masterpiece figure. That's probably why they left it off. But he's comprised of different plastics. Again, we have the black plastic, we have the gray plastic, we have the red plastic. Down here, this paint right here. This silver is paint right here. Autobot logos painted on, looks pretty good. Other than that, he doesn't have a lot of paint going on except for his eye. There is his eye. He looks a lot like the Generation 1 cartoon Trailbreaker. And we don't know how much he'll look like with Earthrise. You know what? I just saw Earthrise on Netflix, and spoiler alert, there was no Trailbreaker. And I believe the Earthrise is over and Kingdom is next. But there was no Trailbreaker. We're getting figures that don't actually appear in the television show, at least not so far. Like Springer has never appeared. Springer was in Siege, and we've never seen Springer at all. So anyway, let's see what he's got going on. He has this little gun over his shoulder, sort of like the G1 you would be able to plug in. It looked more like this, and you could plug it on in the G1, but they just got it put on here. And it would have been cool if they had made that the same gray as this right here, but they did not. And right here is the force field projector. It moves on his hinge. I'm pretty sure all this folds up for transformation, I'm assuming. And again, it's on that little hinge. And that's pretty much it for his once over. So I'm going to run into his articulation right now. I'm going to start with his head. Let me see. He can look down just a hair, and he can look up just a hair, which is different. And he can look side to side. Oh, that's cool because he can look like he's carrying on a conversation or like just curious. So that's cool right there. The head will 360 on that little pin in there. Coming to his arms, we get his arms up this far, and the kibble stays put, which is cool. his arms all the way up over his head like this, and that is cool. And at 360, but you guys 360 the shoulder with the kibble right there, coming to his bicep swivel, 360s right there. Elbow bend, he can get it this far, which is cool. Coming to his wrist, it's pegged in, so it should swivel on a very tight joint right there. It does not fold up for transformation. And now his waist, 360 out of that, pretty good clearance. And now his legs, we can get him out. He can do the splits like all these figures. And to the front, he can kick this far. To the back, on the back is hitting this little piece right here, and that's as much as it will allow. He has an upper thigh swivel. It's cool. Well, no knee swivel. Guess he doesn't need it. Knee articulation was actually below the knee at the shin. Right here, you can get it back this far because I'm pretty sure that's going to transform and go to his back like that. And coming down to his foot, he has the rocker where we can get him in a wider stance. Alright, Trailbreaker has two accessories, one parts forming, I guess this is a shield accessory too, and he has the gun accessory, which is a replacement for his hand in the Generation 1 and cartoons and a lot of artwork. Can't remember if it's on his right or his left. Actually, I don't remember what a box depicts it, but it doesn't just go in as a handgun. It's meant to slide over as if he's morphed his hand into a gun, and it goes on either hand. You can put it right here. And he's been known in continuity to make a force field with it or use it as a gun. So that's that. And then he has these ports everywhere. And if you know about this line, you can port the gun into any of these ports. He can wield it as a cannon on his arm. If he wanted to. Like this. Well, that's the thing. And you can take this and make it a shield, where he's blocking incoming attacks and fire. And I made this joke before, and I will make it again. If this shield or this part is made out of the same part as his body, then what's the point of needing a shield? Either you can't take the blast or you can take the blast. So you shouldn't need the shield. But there it is, and it is brown, and the figure is brown. Like, what's up with that? I know they might be trying to distinguish this continuity from others, and I don't know, but they use black, so. And that's bugging me. I'm going to try not to continue to harp on it. But anyway, I'm going to go from here and roll over to his articulation. You know, once we hit the wider stance, I'll talk about articulation and posability. So let's see what type of poses Trailbreaker can hold. Alright, because of the dimensions of his body, that pose down could have been a little bit better for my taste, but I mean, he is a little tubby looking guy. So I'm going to roll from that straight into the transformation. I'm assuming I'm push his hand straight back to these panels. And we're going to roll with, actually I don't even remember hoist, but unhinge this. Flip this down. It kind of actually fits right in that groove right there. That down, and there's another groove. Okay, self-explanatory. Trailbreaker's head. What does it go? It go in, out, down. I'm not really sure at this point. We're gonna pull the front of the truck out. Try that. And now maybe more clearance for his head. It's gotta rotate. There it is. Okay, I didn't want to be rough. Rotates around, and it feels like the vintage Trailbreaker. Bring his arm. Alright, now I'm going to go for Trailbreaker's transformation. It should be a lot like Hoist. It should be exactly like Hoist. And I just remember some weird thing with the arms and hands. And other than that, it's a lot like the G1 transformation. Let me unhinge this. Wait, fold these things down. If you fold this down, there's a space right there. Boom. And there's a space right there. It fits perfectly into that space. Unhinge the front of the truck. And never look for this to be an official transformation. Let's see if we can push his head down now. His head goes through there, and I'm sure the legs fold up. And now it's the screwy part with the arms. Like, you gotta bring them forward when you bring down these panels. I'm bring down these panels because they go like up under the wheel well, and there's a little tab, and you lock that tab in. And see if I can duplicate it with as much ease as I just did, and put these under at a hinge under the wheel well. I think that's it, or they might go to the back. I'll keep rolling. Keep going, keep going. Yeah. It's not locking. So I got something wrong. Get them back. All these hands sort of like just hang out. Rotate them around. Alright, so yeah, okay, now we got it in here. So put this in here. Let's check for any tabs, any tabbing. I see any tabs. I don't see any tabs so far other than this one. Let's go for this one again. Brings back to the side. Oh, did it by accident on this side. And pop this up. Okay, there are tabs right there. And there's a little porch right here on each side. And this should secure the legs, entire section in place. Okay, I got that in. Okay, I missed this on the side. Did I miss something? Yep, I missed something. Alright, so this is the hoist form. Yep, there go the weird arms hanging out because you can see the hands, which I didn't like. But I guess maybe I'm going to rotate them. I don't know. That's kind of hard. Anyway, I'm going to take the canopy and I guess it just plugs right there into that. And we're done. And now we have our black and brown junker truck. Then they got the nerve to have another plastic. It's almost translucent. It is. You can see through it in this brown type right here. So they have 3 plastic. What the hell is the point of that? Oh, I don't know. It's the same way on this side. It's a little bit more translucent. So yeah, I don't have the roll. Might have. Okay. All right, while I'm fiddling around trying to get this thing to roll, I still haven't got the roll. This isn't even black plastic. It is black paint, and when you turn it over, you can see the translucent plastic underneath that forms the windshield and all that other stuff. So they just paint it over. This is the same thing as the windshield, which is insane. I guess to get the translucent headlights done, I guess, but I don't know. They could have had just a separate piece plugged in here, and then like, why did they not paint it brown? I straight up, I do not get this. But anyway, let's take a look at it in this vehicle mode. This brown and black truck. It has 4-wheel drive on the side. The 4 windows right there. You can't see inside on this side too. And I'm assuming that's supposed to be a window back here. Some tail lights back there. You got this little gappage going on right here. The hands hanging out underneath the truck. But the paint is done well. That's all I can say. I like the translucent headlights. But why didn't they? I don't, man, I'm just so confused. And it's still not rolling. It might warm up on me. It rolls better on this side. Because maybe I just had to get it to warm up. Alright, it's rolling now. I just had it to get to warm up a little bit. And in this mode, features in this mode, you can plug this on top. They should have gave us that radar dish he had on one episode. I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be it. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know, but that's that. And I'm sure, I think it goes into his tire wheel well. If you wanted to do that, weaponize them like that. You always make sure that you can port something in somewhere. But, I was really looking forward to this figure, but the brown is just freaking throwing me. Other people might not have a problem with it. It should have been all brown or all black. Like, why is it both? Like, I got a problem with that. I really do. Then they was just like, fuck it. The tire, and I hate to cuss for no reason, but they just like, F it. The tires, brown too. This is just like all brown. You could have painted those. You could have used this plastic here and took this paint and put it on the tires. Hell, but I guess it would have scraped off when it rolled. But that is just weird. Anyway, let's do some size up and rundown while he's in this truck mode. Okay, here is Earthrise Hoist, who's not rolling much better at all. Let's check out the similarities and the differences. Obviously, it's the same mold. They gave this guy some weathering effect, which I didn't like on the front of the truck. I didn't like that at all. I'm glad it's gone over here. Autobot symbols appear to be the same. Nope, the thickness on this one looks a little bit different. It could just be like the way it was printed. But that's pretty much the same. Of course, the translucent windows are 2 different colors. This one is, they try to be more clear, and this one is more of a blue. I think they did a better job just painting that on the side than like, man. Just look at that. This man. I don't even know. I'm actually, I was looking for, after I got this one, I was really looking forward to this one, but I don't know. Back of the truck, and this little hitch towing mechanism kind of covers up the hollowing back there a little bit for you in this mode, and this one's just hanging out. So that is the similarities and the differences. I think I got these transformations the same. Oh, I got the hands different. This one got the hands facing outward. I don't know if it makes a difference rolling. I don't know. Nope. Anyway, I'm going to bring out my Generation 1 Trailbreaker. And look at the size. They are very comparable. This one's a little bit thicker, but they are right there next to each other. It's cleaned up in the back on the G1. Have the back window going on the G1. G1 wins. Side window right there. Side window right there. Maybe they should have put this color window on this one to make it more, I don't know. Just talking at this point. And man, rubber tires roll like a champ. Go get them, rubber tires. Bam. Yeah, I'm going to play with this thing. Review's over. Anyway, back to Trailbreaker. These are the two figures side by side. Alright, got Trailbreaker back into his robot mode. And I want to speak on his parts forming. When I transform into robot mode, I thought this actually plugged into his back. Like right here. But it connects at other points to secure it in his car mode. I say robot mode is car mode. It is secured other places. It tabbed in other places. And if you just put it, because this is a true port, it's just a space to accommodate this peg instead of being a real port like one of these. So in truck mode, if you put it on, it won't stay on. And it's like they had to do this on purpose. It couldn't be overlooked. Somebody on the design team or something had to be like, why not just have it stay right there so he can carry it or go either way? Because on Bumblebee, it does not have to, it has to be removed to transform. It has to be. So this is definitely parts forming. But they could have had it where he had to carry it around. But they didn't do it. They made sure they put a space in there for it. And with the ladies, because people love taking shots at this toy line for having a lot of parts forming. With the ladies, you can choose to take it off or you could choose to leave it on. It's your choice. It doesn't have to parts form, but they decided you can go either way and not have that gripe or complaint from I guess collectors as opposed to the children that are collecting and buying this line. I mean older collectors. But yeah, they could have just had it, and they didn't do that, which is goofy as hell. You know, for him to just have to hold this thing at all times, or you just gotta put it down somewhere or whatever. And don't get me wrong, I've had toys where they had parts for them and I just threw it to the side, but they had an opportunity and just let it roll on. And speaking of rolling on, I'm going to roll on with the review. Now that I got him in this robot mode, I'm going to size him up and run him. You know what? First, I'm going to take a look with him next to his mold-made hoist and see what's different and similar. They share pretty much everything except for choice and accessories. They change the different guns they have, plug-in ports thing. In G1, they were exactly the same. Obviously, they changed the head, which was necessary. And the biggest tool change comes to the back of the feature, which separates them in vehicle mode. The entire back portion is molded differently. He still has the same, whatever. I don't know what Horse ever did with this thing. Over here was the force field projector, and we never knew what Horse used the damn thing for. But it's the exact same mold. They changed the backpack, obviously. And no parts forming on this guy. All this stuff tucks away in stores. I guess it's just only one extra piece, the tow truck portion hitch. But anyway, no parts forming and parts forming. And that is the biggest difference. The legs, the hands, the waist, all that stuff is the same. So, bring him out here next to his Generation 1 counterpart. Mine is wearing a custom head. It looks more like the cartoon. So, there is that. And this is the kickoff of the size up and the run down. Here he is with Earthrise Cliff Jumper, Earthrise Grapple, Earthrise Thundercracker, Runabout, Netflix Optimus Prime, Another figure that was left out of the cartoon, just like Trailbreaker, but received the toy, Siege Springer. Alright everybody, my final thoughts on Trailbreaker. It's a cool figure. It's probably the best official Trailbreaker out there. It really is, despite me not liking the color. I do not like the color choices on this figure at all, and then what they did with the wheels. And then I don't like, obviously, what they did with this. They could have, you know, kept a little parts for him out of the figure. Everything else is pretty cool. My joints are cool. It could have rolled a little bit better than it could have been my surface. But he's pretty cool. It's Trailbreaker. If you don't have him, I do recommend him. But don't break your neck trying to get them, and do not pay scalper prices. I've seen them in stores, still see them in stores through the holidays and throughout the holidays. Every now and then there's just one hanging. Sometimes I don't see them, but there'll still be, if I go to enough stores, I'll find the Trailbreaker. So with that said, that's all I got. I want to thank you for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews of every toy has a story.
Autobots, transform!